Hey, everybody. How y'all doing? We're here for another episode of Breaking Glass, a podcast for glass blowers by glass blowers. My name's Kevin Beecher. With me, we got Josh Mazzei, as always. And this week, we got a first for us. We have two people on the podcast. We got our good buddy Justin Galante and Jason Malega, a.k.a. Luckie.
A.k.a. Leonard Selby.
Yeah, Leonard Selby. Yeah, we don't really call him Jason. But, hey, that's your name, right? I had to actually ask you because
Legally born.
I was like, what's your full name? And spell it out for me. So, yeah, we're here for another thing here. We're going to do a little talking about, we were all in Vegas together, so we figured we'd recap that while we're here at the house. And let's jump right into that. How was your show?
Good.
It was awesome.
Yeah?
Yeah. And back to his name, though. Like, every year, it's when Vegas comes up, it's like, what the fuck is his name? And I have to go through text to try and
Just
figure
tell
it
me
out.
again, please.
Well, it's
love
like
you, though.
nobody calls you any of those names.
No,
Like, all
no,
you hear
like
is Lucky.
everybody at home at the beach doesn't even know my real name.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they all refer to me as Lucky. Yeah.
Are you Lucky? Can we rub your head?
Yeah, I mean, I want a little. Yeah, rub down. Hey.
Well, yeah, that's like I said. Well, you go by what you said, the AKA.
A.k.a. Leonard Selby.
Leonard
I
Selby.
think that's his Facebook.
Yeah, well, yeah, Facebook
Oh.
beated me off a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, so I was like, well, I'll screw you guys over. Here's a new fake name.
You're screwing all of us over.
Yeah. But,
Well,
well, it makes you think, see?
I'll just
keep
stick
on
with
your
Lucky. That's
toes.
easiest.
Yeah, Lucky.
That's all I'm gonna ever call you anyhow.
I must have, that first class, I must have had your name on something. I must have.
Yeah, well, you got caught up in the mix, too,
Yeah.
like last minute, so.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Did
yeah.
you even get a list?
Yeah, I know if I don't. Maybe I didn't. Yeah.
All right. Well, so Vegas, you guys were there. You guys
Yeah.
shared. What this is like? How many years for you guys?
Well,
This
I
is-
went 3 years, but shared a booth with Justin, too.
2 years.
Yeah.
Like I said,
First year
you
just
passed
went
out every
partying.
day this year, though. You're always passing out on us.
No, this year I passed out after you
Yeah.
left.
He went hard.
I went hard
Until
this
you
year.
left. That's when he fell asleep.
Yeah, I slept all
It was after
Friday.
Josh's night.
Well, you were the only person that really hung out. Justin's like my counterpart at night. He would stay up. We'd freaking play roulette all fucking night, drink our faces off.
I was just I went up to the room a couple times. I wasn't gambling with you
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, you're not one of those guys.
But yeah, after you left, we hit it hard with Josh and went till your
yeah.
flight.
Yeah, I just stayed up all night until the flight.
And then that's when
Guys,
we went to bed. And then Lucky slept for 30 hours, and then I found myself in the casino by myself.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah. Was there anybody else there? Like other
No.
people you know? Everybody was gone.
No, everyone was gone.
I mean, the casino was, I think, more crowded than it was when we were there,
Crazy.
but just with random people for, I guess, Super Bowl weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah.
was Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yeah,
I forgot.
totally. That would've
Terrible Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. That was fucking disappointing. My team lost. Oh, well.
been- Why
I
did
called
they
it.
lose?
You know, it was just one of those things. Like, they were playing, started off. It was like the same MO with all the past Kansas City games. Like, they're behind the freaking first half by half their things, and then by the second half, they come back and win. And for some reason, the Niners defense fell apart that second half. I don't know, man. And it was just weird. And I will say there was some shitty calls. I mean, just shitty fucking calls. I mean, just a couple no calls that we were just like, even when the announcers see something plain as day, it should fucking count. Like, if they're seeing
I
it.
was seeing stuff.
Exactly.
And I'm not
Everybody
a
was
football
seeing it.
fan.
Everybody was seeing stuff. That was one of the big talking points the next day on the thing. It was like, oh, they missed it. It was like there was a bunch of offside calls not called, pass interference
Yeah,
calls.
a lot
That
of
one
pass
that they did for the
interference.
Niners, that could have been the game changer to the first half. I mean, that dude fucking caught that
Caught
ball.
it.
There was no push off. I mean, there was nothing. They're just
there was worse later in the game.
I don't know, but over that, I'm over it. Fuck it.
I just felt like it came and it went. Like, those guys won the Super Bowl. If it had been the Patriots that had won, we'd be hearing about it for weeks. If the Steelers had won another one, you hear about it for weeks. It just felt like Super Bowl came and went, and it was like I didn't see. There's like no really lifting up the Kansas City Chiefs.
Well, they do. I think they're looking for a new poster child like Brady.
Uh-huh.
They're looking for like that Patrick Mahomes. They're
Yeah.
like new little. He's a black guy, which they love. They want to promote all these little things. Brady, I hear, is going to. He might be going to the Cowboys.
Oh my
Really?
God! Could
For
you
his-
go from one more hated team to another hated
Well,
team?
I mean, that's funny because they're my least two favorite teams. But,
my God.
that's what they do, though. When he's done, they don't want to pay him any more money. The Patriots could bring somebody else in, start rebuilding a new team.
Yeah,
He's
he's
about
getting
done.
old, yeah.
And a team like the Cowboys will freaking bring him in for the last 2 seasons or something like that and just pack the stadium with them and win whatever they're going to
Yeah,
win.
they'll win some games.
Yeah, and that's
They're
all
gonna
they
have a
really
new
care.
make
coach too,
money.
right?
That
They're
happens all the time.
What?
They'll make money at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all. That's all they care about. They don't care who wins
Who
or
wins
loses.
or loses, yeah.
It's all money.
Did you see the Kansas City post Super Bowl shit? Like
No.
there was like a car chase during the parade,
Oh, shit.
and the cops had to like hit the the corner bumper
Yeah.
and spin them out, and then it just flooded with like 60 fucking cops like on the scene, and then I think someone died lighting off fireworks.
Oh wow, crazy.
It made me feel proud.
I think the
that
big
Philly did
takeaway-
so well, and like no problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
guess
think the big
probably
takeaway from the
No
wole
one
thing
died.
was
I didn't see
the
the rap sheet
country.
the next day. You know
The
that.
country learned that Trump doesn't know where Kansas City is.
That was hilarious.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
He posted up congratulations to Kansas City, like Kansas, and
The
Kansas
great
City's
state-
in
somebody
Missouri.
said something like the
Yeah.
great
Said the
Kansas
great
City and the
state.
great state of
Yeah,
Kansas.
and like a lot of people were like, "What the fuck is he even talking about?" It's
Yeah.
like, I think that was the big takeaway from everything. Trump sucks.
Yeah.
But so yeah, back to Vegas.
So you guys, you've done this trade show for a few years. Do you do any other trade shows?
No,
We did-
Vegas was my first one 3 years ago, and it went super well.
Yeah.
Last year was slower, but with a little bit more experience now, like I'm very new to this whole world, and
we met you at the Wheaton Marble Show,
2013.
2013.
Yeah.
and that's where we first met you, and you were in there just making marbles and stuff. And
I wasn't even I was in there just like buying at that point.
Oh, is that what
And
it
then
was?
I met you guys, and then Joshua Justice.
yeah,
And you guys took me in under your wing, and then Joshua Justice, I was hanging out with him, talking with him for over an hour.
and you went out to his house,
And he was like, "Yeah, come over."
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
like meeting people on the road at concerts and everything like that. You all have those nights where you're like, "Oh man, like, oh, we're gonna be together forever," and like, there's like lots of empty promises. But a month later, he called me. He's like, "Why haven't you set a date yet?" And
Yeah.
at that point, it's like, "Wow."
He's a teddy bear. He's a big
Oh, yeah.
sweetheart.
He is. He's awesome.
But so yeah, we met you there. Then you started interning. Came to Melt. We got you signed up for the intern program.
Yeah. After the next year,
Were you an intern the
no,
first year?
2 years.
Yeah.
You interned the first year, and then like I said, yeah. So both these guys were interns the first year at Melt, and then the next year, pretty much after that, they were staff nonstop, which they probably wish they were going back to interns now or going just regular people after you work for us.
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
So what do you think? I mean, overall, the 3 years in Vegas, I think, I mean, the show itself, I like the new venue because I
Yeah,
like the
the
fact that
venue
it's
is
someplace
real
different
nice.
and the food there's so much better food options.
Yeah.
That's a big plus.
Yeah.
But the show was twice as big. I mean, it seemed like it was a
huge.
big show,
Yeah,
and it
big.
seemed like I thought the sales were more than they have been. It seemed like there was a lot more buyers.
I did better than last year also. So
Yeah.
I think
Nice.
you did better.
Yeah, I mean-
so, right? Or about
Yeah,
the
no,
same?
I did better than last year. Like the first year, I came out with hundreds of production, and like that's why I did well.
Yeah.
It's because shops are coming in there, and there's so much awesome glass.
Yeah.
And like,
Yeah, this year
It's just
packed with
such a
artists.
variety.
Oh, my
Oh
goodness.
yeah.
and having that production there is, I mean, it keeps, production, dude. It keeps money coming in and just.
Well, I mean,
Just gotta do
me
it.
and Josh broke our freaking cherry for the most part. I mean, we actually sold some pipes this time, which was pretty amazing. The last couple of years straight, like our fourth year, is like we never sell pipes ever. We always sell wine glasses, marbles, pendants.
But see,
and-
it's something different.
I know, but it was
That's
just
why your
yeah,
brother
crazy
like,
that people
he's the
walked
only
up-
one with
Prepare for
shot
it, though, with
glasses.
all the pipes.
we
and
always
then,
have,
you know,
but
yeah.
we always
And
have a
it's
shit ton of pipes and a shit
Unique.
ton of
Yeah,
everything
to
else.
stands out,
Differentiate
yeah.
yourself from, because there's so much.
Well, the funny
awesome
thing
glass
is, we
blowers.
sold no wine glasses.
Yeah. This year we didn't sell.
You know, so every other year we sold wine glasses. This year we sold pipes. We
Was
sold
there
some-
any other wine glass makers out there?
There was probably cup makers.
Yeah.
I mean, there was cups I saw.
yeah, definitely
We
some
didn't
cups and-
come heavy this year
Yeah.
like we normally did. I mean, years like last year we had
Oh, last year
freaking
you guys
50
had
wine
a
glasses
lot,
there.
yeah.
This year we might have had 10, 15. You know, we didn't sell any of those though, but we did sell like some rigs. We got some orders, which next week we're gonna go down to Smoke Signals in Frederick, and he's
Yeah.
gonna get some stuff from us that he ordered. So yeah, we're excited about that. Met some new shops locally, like Pennsylvania shops that are interested in buying glass, which is always a plus.
That's plus, yeah,
So, like I said,
especially-
sometimes even not selling it there is not a big deal. It's like making that contact that you can come home and
Yeah.
go make that
Go
contact.
make-
You know,
yeah.
so it's like it's great to get the money on the spot and get all
We
that
had
going.
repeat buyers
Oh, that's
that were
cool.
coming
Yeah.
out like from stores last year.
Last
I
year,
haven't
yeah,
seen
they
them all
came
year,
back.
haven't
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
from all year, and they came up and
That's
placed
good.
orders, and like that's awesome feedback.
Yeah.
Anyone
Cool.
that comes up and like
especially
remembers you.
yeah,
and-
out of that group of killer artists.
Overall, I Did you also hear about people? Did some people not have good shows? Did you get any vibe from that, or do you think everybody across the board was having good
no matter
shows?
where, there's going to be good days and bad days.
Yeah.
I didn't really hear too many people complain.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
I wondered because I didn't talk to too many people that were like heavy production artists, so I don't know like how they did. Because
Well, are there a lot out there
yeah,
because let's be honest, none of us really want to do all the production.
oh yeah, right.
But,
But some people have solid, strong companies.
Yeah.
That's what they do, and there were a few of them there this year. So
You got people like Freddie there every year.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
he does, and he hustles the shit
yeah.
out of it.
And I know that I talked to the guys at ABR. They had a great show. I talked to so many people that actually said it was the best show they'd had in a long time. Scott Griffin was talking about that. I know the guys at Blast Shield had a great show. So
they're
it's
so nice.
It's always
It was
such a good
organized
indicator
so
when the
well,
Tool,
too.
like you know the Glass Blowers had a good show if those guys had good shows, because the Glass Blowers just go over and they're gonna pick up
Yeah.
stuff from ABR. Those guys. So
I picked up my blast shield for my torch stand
Yep.
finally,
Yeah.
which
I talked
I
about
used it
getting
already.
a new one.
Oh, it's awesome, dude. It changed. Like I used it the other day for the first time I ever had it, and I was just like stretched out a piece of tubing, and I was like, "This is awesome." I was standing behind it, my face right up to it. I was like, "This is so cool."
Wait till summer too.
Oh, dude. And I mean, lately we've been making these big marbles and all that shit in my face. I wake up in the morning, and my nose
you're
is
all
all
burnt,
crispy
yeah.
and burnt. And like in the summertime, there's times where I'll put sunscreen on before I work, and I'll rub it. I keep it there on the thing and rub a little bit on my nose.
Yeah.
Just keeps it from getting all red. And
That's why I got the Blast Shield to begin with. Is just I burn from here all the way down to my neck, but then I find myself like hovering over it, especially when I'm doing dots, and then my nose is just sitting on it, sweating down. If you see my Blast Shield
that
in the
why it's
summer,
cracked?
it is just disgusting.
that why it's cracked. He snotted it up and got too hot.
Probably.
I thought
also probably tightened
in
the
my head, I
screws.
thought that they had like a didinium coated blast shield, which I
think
asked him
that would be
about that, and he says he's
Yeah.
like, well, he explained it.
Snodgrass have one?
He
Yeah.
says they don't.
Snodgrass definitely has one. You can buy didinium sheet glass here for
Well,
sure.
what he told me from Blast Shield, what's his name?
Daryl?
He
Daryl.
he said that when they coat that stuff on, it can't take the heat, and he says it'll melt them. He says that's why they don't do that. They do coat them. One I have is coated.
Yeah,
it
see-
has a coating on, like a UV coating on it, but it's not.
Not didinium.
Yeah, it's not didinium.
So when they make the didinium, there are ones that are coated, but there's also didinium where it's actually in the glass, and that would not degrade from heat. Like if you get the didinium is actually part of the glass, like in the glass, if you get the right material. So you could get that, and that's what they do. They make one big batch of it, and then they make eyeglasses for 20 years, and then they have to make another batch because they make these huge pulls for their glasses. And
Well, we're talking
So-
about tools. I just saw something yesterday. I didn't put it on our itinerary, but it just popped in my head that on Facebook it was the guy from Oxygen Frog,
Yep.
and then the guys from High Volume. Did you see that? There's some kind of lawsuit that they must have won. That was on Facebook.
against each other,
Yeah, I think the
Oxygen Frog.
not them. I think
High
it was
Volume?
High Volume had one against Oxygen Frog against their stuff, but apparently they won that lawsuit. We have to look into
Yeah,
see
we
what
should.
that
It'd be interesting
what that
stuff
all
to
is.
know,
But
yeah.
well, I talked to the guy that is it Abe? What's his name from
don't
Oxygen Frog? He had that new tool which I thought was really cool. Did you see the flame chiller?
Yeah.
He brought it around, and like I'm actually really interested in that. I mean, it was just
It's
it's
interesting
something
how
you
it
hook onto
works,
your
yeah.
torch, and it adds oxygen to your flame, and it makes you so you can work,
With
certain
no
colors
compressor
with
and
no,
nothing,
no,
yeah.
and there's no compressor. A lot of those things you have to add air compressors to them for the gas, and that's just a pain in the butt, because you have to have the oxygen generator working and all that kind of crap. But to
loud
have something
thing
where you
goes
just hit a
back.
switch, and now Mike was on there. Mason was talking the other day, and they had a big discussion about those because he introduced that on Facebook yesterday, and they were saying it's not quite the same because some of those torches you have the compressed air valve, so you can add the compressed air, and it makes a big difference.
My plus.
It seemed like, if you watch the videos of him with that flame chiller, it really does change the chemistry of the flame. And he says that when they were working it, he's taking just color like crayon reds and stuff like that and putting it right into the flame. He said,
I want to see that video.
Yeah,
You
I
said
wanna
you
see it.
saw
he just had it on his phone.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure now that he made the official statement on Torch Talk the other day. He did like a press release, he said. But then that was right. He did that right after the High Volume did that thing about winning some lawsuit. So we have to look into what all that is. But something about the way they built their system and all that kind of stuff that the one copied the other one and the other one had a patent on it.
Yeah.
So we'll have to look into all that. You guys didn't see any of that?
No.
Wait, who had the patent on it?
I think High Volume had the patent. And
He's been around. For
yeah, and I think
years, right?
but there again, we're not going to get crazy quoting into it because I don't know the whole
Yeah,
story. I just read it on Torch Talk the other day, and I was like, oh shit, there's something getting ready to go down. And then later that day,
Was that going to put the? I guess I'd like to know like the consequences. Is he going to put the other guy out of business? Is he not going to be able to manufacture something anymore? Or,
That's what I said. We'll have to look into.
Yeah, we'll have to find out. So
but as far as tools goes, I mean, Justin, we can't remember. We have so many damn tools we review. He actually brought a whole pile of tools here, and I was like, dude, we already talked about those. Apparently,
But
you're
they're
not
so
watching the show.
good.
Yeah,
They are
yeah,
good.
it
Those
means we've
ones
been
that I
doing it
brought
right.
out
Yeah.
are like
Yeah.
like those rollers.
He brought a
Yep.
Sophietta today, which I don't remember us talking about the Sophietta.
Yeah, I don't think we've talked about Sophia.
Well, if we didn't, we definitely didn't talk about this one because this is made by Griffin Tools. Which
Yep.
We talk about Griffin. He's our boy.
Yeah.
totally.
And I think the one I have is from Blast Shield.
Yep, you have a Blast Shield one.
So this tool is basically a graphite, reamer kind of piece that is hollow. It's hollow the whole way through. So if you're making a piece of glass, say you're puffing out a bubble and you want to like expand it, you can heat it up and you can stick this in the hole and blow it, inflate your glass, which is a really handy tool. Like you said, it changed.
Yeah, it I mean, like when you're making those sections and everything, it precision from the first step with anything in glass blowing being centered and everything.
What
like
do you
that.
use it
Like,
more for? What do you use it most for? What sections are you talking?
Yeah, what application?
I mean, if I'm like doing reversals, even just like for my like fume wrap and rake and just like changing axis and everything, like, and even like for your wig wags and doing the same thing. But
That's when I find it to be the most, like when I do a wig wag section, I'll do the one side, twist off a nice termination, then I'll
Yeah.
pop a hole in the side, then I'll punny up to it, and then
You'll
take the
need
other
it,
end
yeah,
off,
at
and then I
that
still have that
finish.
hole, and I'll heat it up, and I'll use that and puff it
to
out
help
and make
round it, yeah.
yeah, but just making that wall weight even before you even start connecting to everything else, I mean, in the long run, it's just helping you out in the end.
I mean,
And
traditionally,
it's
this
been
tool
great.
was designed for soft glass, and you always
was
see
hooked.
the ones that's it has an angle on it. So when you're making a piece on the end of a blowpipe and you have your hole in the side, you can reach around the side there and puff, 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 and that was what it was originally for. Then people like Griffin adapted it into flame working, but it's an older tool. It's been around for a long time for soft glass.
Is yours straight?
I have
one that
both.
you
I
use?
have a straight one and I have the angled one. So I bought. Actually, you know who I did buy mine from? I'm wrong. I bought mine from Smith Custom Tools. Remember, he traded me
Both
some-
of them?
I think so. I can't remember. I know the one. My
Yeah, the
angle,
one-
my
your
angle
angle one's
one,
a Smith.
which they sell for
Yeah.
like $90. They're more expensive than the other ones, but I don't use that one as much. I bought that thinking I was going to use it for cups,
Yeah.
and I was like, I don't really ever use it too much, but it is a cool tool still, and it's cool to have.
I bought that one. I
Yeah.
have both too, and that's the one I got first. But now
Well,
I
shout
use
out
the straight one
to Griffin
exclusively.
again. Like I said, I know there's a bunch of people that make them, but we'll definitely give him a shout out because he's one of our homies.
And I definitely use all of my Sofiettas. I use this stainless steel side as a stamp and a punch for around eyes or little marks or something like that. This is a little larger gauge than mine.
Multi-purpose
Yeah,
tool.
yeah, I like that.
I use
that
the
tool for
end of my tungsten pick. It's the same thing, a round thing. That's how I do my eyes and my beer bottles.
Oh, yeah,
I use
yeah.
the end of the tungsten pick. It's just a round circle. So,
Simple like that.
so. All right. Well, where we at? Oh, okay. These guys brought down some. I could just a ton of shit. Apparently,
I know, we're gonna have to
I
figure
said, it's a big giveaway here. We got.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure
So-
out something pretty special for this giveaway. How
Yeah,
we're gonna do
Justin. I mean, so you made a marble.
Yeah,
So-
that was
Yeah,
one of
thank
my
you.
few
I was
marbles
just
that
about to say something.
I don't even like to back these ones because
delicious.
these
Oh, yeah,
I
so
keep in my
good.
pocket and I don't know I in the Philly traffic
Make
and
sure
everything.
Make sure nuts look bigger.
Yeah. Makes it look like he's got something.
So he got this really cool fume marble with a little opal inset in it. Maybe we'll try to get some photos
Yeah, I
to
think there's
post
some
up
UV
for us.
in there too. And
Is it UV?
yeah, that's what creates like that even more green.
Okay, that's one thing.
Yeah.
So, we got this
he's
killer
been
marble.
on the kick here with making these. He calls them what?
Nuggifiers.
Nuggifier jars.
Well, that's what I told they were called.
yeah. These is
That's
an
a
old.
proper
It's an
name.
old thing. It was like
It
I said,
is.
people were making these a long time ago, but he's bringing it back. And so basically, it's just a regular standard jar. It doesn't sit. It sits upside. It sits on the cork like that. But the bottom of it has a super crazy lens. And so when you stick your herb in there and you push it up in, you can really kind of looks like a magnifying glass, and you can really get the detail shots of your herb.
Yeah.
Basically, the
Good,
whole concept behind it.
And what's really cool about that, or about this in the way that I started doing these, it kind of comes back to when I first met you guys and meeting Joshua Justice, and you guys being very open. Like that was my first year being on my own glass blowing, and you guys like brought me in. And last year I got to meet Tim Ease and at Vegas, and as soon as we got home, he was doing these sidecars with a small nuggifier on the side of the sidecar.
Yeah.
And after meeting him, I emailed him and I was like, hey, like this blew my mind because I haven't seen it before. And I asked him if I was doing bigger jars, would I be stepping on toes, or like
He's like,
whatever?
dude, no.
He's like
everybody's
absolutely-
made these things.
He's like from 98 to 2000, 2001. He was like, we were all fucking doing this shit.
I
So
used
was
to
like,
make them and put them on the side. The same thing. I'd do sidecars with a jar on the side of it, and
but
like,
I never saw it. And then after I started doing it, there's a whole 2 other generations from the late 90s that haven't seen this ever, and like the weed that we have these days is just that much more pretty.
Yeah.
And it's just cool to have you guys
oh, okay,
do your thing and
let's
find
do
your
this,
way.
Let's
and
do this podcast. We're gonna
be a
step
part
back
of
because I
it.
want to get into that question with you. What happened when she did? That's kind of where you were going with this story. You have a big long story about that.
Well, no, it's just
Well, you said about how like a radio station contacted you and
it
you
got
boosted your sales and you were
dude,
taking orders like crazy.
no, it got real fucking overwhelming. It wasn't fun.
It would be
It was
fun if
horrible.
you're making that many orders. I mean, that sounds fun to
But
me.
your anxiety levels were like,
Did you sell a ton of these in Vegas?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, let's do the giveaway quick, and we'll come back and ask you about the jar because it's a cool story how you said it. So he's got this badass jar. You're gonna get that. Lucky put together what is a pipe and it's a pendant.
Yeah.
So Lucky, we're gonna talk about his where he lives. He lives down in Ocean City, Delaware, and he's
Rehoboth,
all
Delaware.
about the ocean
Near
scene.
Ocean
So
City.
North Carolina.
he makes a ton of these like really pimp ass like shells, and they look, this is a pipe, but it looks like a seashell. You can set it around decoratively, and it's a pipe. And he made a really nice little shell pendant, and then they also threw a ton of their stickers and all that kind of stuff. So this will be the giveaway we'll have this week. We'll put it together. It'll probably be you have to follow Lucky and Justin and Breaking Glass.
We might even, who knows, maybe we'll break it into 2 packages unless you want it all go on the same person. Might be able to make it into 2
whatever
giveaways.
you guys
Yeah.
feel.
Well, we'll figure that
we'll
out.
figure something out though for
That's
sure.
up to you two.
Yeah,
This is
unless you
your
guys
thing.
have any special,
thanks.
any strong
Everybody
yeah.
loves free shit. So
Oh, yeah, totally.
yeah. So back, we'll start with you with this jar. So you start making the jars, and you said it took off. You said you put a post up. And somebody saw it.
The first one, I don't know. I guess went viral on Instagram, and I mean not to the extent of what some people get, but I was getting 30,000 views.
That's crazy.
And then the next 2 were getting 50,000 views, and like my hockey teammate hit me up and was like, "Yo, like your shit's been fucking trending for fucking 9 days straight in the top 10," and it was just like, holy, like. It was unreal.
Yeah.
But then I was waking up to 70 DMs every morning, and then throughout the day repeating that, and then trying to be personable with every email because
It's a sale.
I don't exactly. And like so I was laying in bed for 4 hours responding to every single DM.
Wow.
Before I even got my day started, and that's when I called junkie.
Could you play with yourself at the same time while you looked at the thing?
Oh, that was too much. Too much.
Too much.
And that's when I called
Can't
junkie
jerk
to,
off and DM at the same time.
to figure out how to. I've never dealt with this before, and he gave me some basic tips of managing that time and
Who was this? Chunky?
Chunky.
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 Who's gonna hate that?
He's swearing. He is swearing at
Yeah.
this television screen right now.
We love
But
you.
I'm on his behalf, fat cunt.
but yeah, it's been great. I've had a lot of people ordering them. I've had a lot of people collecting them. I've got multiple buyers out there that
What are they
have
selling
6
for?
or 7.
On average, what's one like this sell for?
That one it goes from
Retail.
$80 to $100 retail.
Nice.
Maybe up to 120.
So when you were in
for
Vegas,
some of
did you
them.
wholesale them in Vegas?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I was pushing the smaller ones for stores because they can get them for cheaper and then sell them for cheaper. And I really like the small ones just because it's on the go.
On the go. What's nice about these, like especially the smaller ones, they're not square bottoms. They sit and like if you make a small tight one, it'll kind of fit in your pocket still. And it's like, well, that's crazy.
Well, that won't fit in your pocket.
Yeah, I will, but it'll make
There's
you look
not
like you
a
got
lot
a
of-
trying to
there's a
hide
lot of room down there.
hide a salami down there. But so you said
That's
you
a
got
salami for you.
contacted from some news. What was it?
Oh no, I was getting like the Jack Herrera Festival in oh my god.
I thought you said it was some country, like
Some-
Spain or
No, it was not Finland, but
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I've a lot of my buyers for these are in the UK. Sold a bunch to sent a bunch up to Canada. I had people from Cuba like contacting me. Like it's crazy. Like it makes you feel good.
Cocaine.
Yeah, you can't ever fucking.
It makes you feel good.
You can't ever
got
bitch
more.
about sales. You know, it's one of those things. Where if
No.
you're gonna get sales, I'd take any sale. You know, you
And,
just
like,
never turn
I-
it away. If
I
it's gonna
like
be
making
jars.
them.
It's gonna
I
be
like
jars.
experimenting with vessel shapes.
Have you been getting your lenses? Or you feel like they're coming better? You got the idea.
Oh
how they
yeah,
work. It's like
now like the first application was, maybe sink it all down first and then just cap it, and now it's just get
have
that
you
thing
ever jammed your
pissed off.
penis inside and looked at that? Just let me tell you.
It's too much green.
Well, your
Oh,
penis
wait.
is green.
No,
Oh,
it's,
shit.
your wife would get that joke.
All right.
So no answer on that.
The minis, it goes in.
What Okay, here's another question for you. We're gonna move on. Justin's from Philadelphia. He's down in like opposite shop.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the name of that place? You have a name or doesn't have a name for it?
Shop
No.
name?
No.
Well, you're on. It's like they call it like Pipe Makers Row.
Yeah, Piper's
It's like-
Row.
It's like it's basically an alley, and there's a ton of studios. You got like Slinger's shop, and
Yeah.
just pretty much every big glass blower that's in Philadelphia area is all
Oh.
down there.
Germs retiring. Did you see that?
No, he's not retiring. He's just taking like a little
that
break.
post really made it sound that way. Did you see that
Leave of
post?
absence.
No.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it pretty
see it
much
yet,
was like,
but-
I'm selling this. I'm quitting glass blowing. Is what he said.
Oh.
No.
Jeremy Grant Levine.
Well, yeah,
right?
no,
Is
I
that-
didn't-
Yeah, that definitely was the post. It was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm selling. I mean, it would sound like he was selling.
Is he
it.
down there?
He's like, after so and so
Yeah,
many years. yeah.
he was one of the co-runners of
Rushmore,
Rushmore.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or is.
Yeah.
But at the end of the month, I think he said he was taking a break. Yeah, I don't know. Like you guys were talking about it on a couple episodes ago, but like, or maybe it was in.
There was it was the breaking. Boro
Yeah,
News
yeah.
stuff.
The
crane-
yeah,
crane
one.
that's the one we were talking about.
But then
yeah.
also in it's Pipe Dream. What? Oh my God.
Oh, Pipe Town.
Pipe Town.
Okay.
You're talking about how flooded
Yeah,
the market
yeah,
and everything
totally,
is.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, I might be one of few glass blowers. I mean, Luckie.
Mm-hmm.
We both bartend on the side.
Right.
And, it's working a couple extra nights a week. And, like, those days suck. It's a 20-hour work day, whatever. But, I mean, it just keeps everything flowing nice and steady. So
Well, it is
during
always
these
nice to
rough
have
times
that.
and dips, just
Keeps
like
the
the
bills
stock
paid.
market.
Yeah, if you have
no.
a bad time or whatever. I mean, I have
Just
a
keep
wife,
things
so I
going.
mean, she has a good job. So I mean, that kind of like
That
my
helps,
back. It's like my backup
covered.
if shit happens. I mean, there again, I definitely still pay half of our bills and other stuff. And if I don't give her money, she fucking is on my ass. So, but
yeah,
that being said,
I don't think he's retiring.
I think a ton of
No,
guys.
that
I just
post.
think-
I mean, I wish I had the
think it's-
post because
Yeah, I
I,
didn't
it
see
was,
it.
A long leave.
yeah. I mean, it was like I'm getting rid of my equipment. I still have a few cranes left, and
Yeah.
it's on like I'm after. It was like if not, it was definitely I don't
Got that
care
vibe.
for that. Yeah, that's the vibe I got from it, and I don't. It's like you can't just make that. I hope I don't think he's making that. I hope that he's not making that statement for its impact and not really. Yeah, I mean, I guess
I don't
yeah.
know.
If you're saying that,
I didn't see it. I just think, as artists and when times get rough, maybe you just need to
Step back.
transfer that energy somewhere else, and then you come back to things and just. I mean, if he's been in the industry, what, like 14
yeah.
or longer?
Longer than that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
longer. Yeah, I mean,
but
one of the first parking lots I vended at took pipes too, and all
Yeah.
that. Halfway through the show, I'm like, hey, and years later it was Jeremy.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
that's how we made a connection, and it was kind of nice.
Yeah,
to
maybe it's
see
just
him
time
doing
for a
that
Yeah,
transition.
hustle,
I'm
like-
sorry, I didn't mean to scoop in. You were talking.
Yep.
About
Oh,
it.
yeah,
I was
no.
like, it's right in your neighborhood. We were talking about all the people
Yeah,
who own shops
I mean,
there, and to hear him
to
say he was quitting,
Phil-
that's kind of big.
Philly is just like I live right outside the city, and it's just becoming such a pain in the ass, especially on that block. Right now, it's becoming this whole other mecca of housing and condos, and
Well, they're
it's
pumping
still
money
junkies
into it, right?
everywhere. But like, I was even watching a Philly like game show or whatever, and it was like best school systems in Philadelphia, and it was like Kensington, Fishtown. I was like, dude, what? Get the fuck out of here, dude! Like, have you seen Kensington Beach shit? Like, it's still fucking hookers and heroin.
Yeah.
Yeah, but down where
Like-
you're at, I mean, you walk down the streets and you just see dudes passed out on the street,
Yeah,
like just.
it's-
But then
sitting
you'll
there.
see crazy new houses. There's so much construction going
Oh,
on there, and
yeah.
like these incredible homes being built. And
Yeah, but even like our back alley,
Modern
when
art. Oh,
yeah, I
Lucky
was
came
like,
by the other
what
day,
the
he was like,
hell?
"Wasn't there a building here?"
Like, we all used
And
to,
this
like,
is in
smoke
the back
cigarettes
alley.
on
You've
that.
been over to the studio.
Yeah, it's
So
gone.
when you walk out that door, that whole building right across the street is completely gone. You can see La Colombe,
Oh, wow.
and they're putting in like, I want to say between 40 and 50 apartments right there.
wow.
So like, and
gonna
that's like
mess-
our little back alley.
That's gonna mess up your parking.
I can't even park there to begin with anyway.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm getting
That road
tickets
is
now.
like-
Oh, really? They're ticketing?
Oh, they're taking.
We park there when we come to visit
Yeah,
you.
but right outside, like of our garage door. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're getting ticketed. The pizza shop down the way, and then like the $180 a head sushi spot on the other side of the alley, and like people are walking into our studio and being like, "Hey, like, what's this car in here? Like, what's that model?" And we're all there just working with our headphones on, like. When was it okay to walk into a property that wasn't yours in Kensington and Fishtown?
Fucking Philly, man.
And they're just walking in with their pizza boxes and kids, and it's just like, dude, like,
Like, look, kids, glass blowers.
yeah, like you're lucky that it wasn't the wrong door,
Yeah.
and
Well, they probably figure, hey, you bunch of dirty hippies in here. They ain't got guns.
oh man, it's just changing in Philly,
Yeah.
and I'm even
For
like,
the good or the bad? I mean,
I guess for the good, but for
Can't
the
get much
bad,
worse.
us, I want my parking in my alley, but I see like families traveling down the street, so like that's cool, but then there's also just the it's still Fishtown, fucking Kensington.
so how many shops is on that street then?
On that block of like 300 feet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
5.
all next door to each
And that's
other.
how many glass blowers you think?
6,
You're making him do math.
Yeah, on the spot.
almost 20.
20 glass blowers and what, 300 feet? That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really
And it's all
cool.
multiple shops. I mean, but you have some
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
big. I
And
mean, I
they're
saw
all
Z moved
talented,
out of
yeah.
there.
Well, yeah, she moved up to Michigan.
She moved to Michigan.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She moved out, and then
I mean, I feel like it's kind of always like changing a lot, but I mean, for me,
well, you're
it's
talking
crazy
about
surreal because like these are guys like and girls like, you know, in your early teens, and you're just like, holy shit, you're on glasspipes.org, sending your buddy like, you know, addresses, and then now I can ask these people, hey, how should I do this?
Yeah.
And then go over here and be like, how should I do this?
Well, you get to
And
work with big
then-
artists. I saw you just put a piece together with Time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, and like
yeah.
you see people
I
like
think
that
so.
you're
Oh,
boys
yeah.
with, and
no,
it's
like when I first started doing the marbles and like doing dot stacks, like I'm looking at his shit,
yeah.
and now he's on the bench next to me, and
Oh, he's working in that shop now.
Oh, yeah,
he was
he-
working in Z's shop out front, wasn't he?
yep,
Well, he had the back shop there with Josh.
yep,
Yeah.
he was with Z for a while, and then he went to Josh's,
Yeah.
and then now he's over with us, working next to me.
Crazy.
And honestly, doing the prep work for his boxes, dude, he uses so much glass for that shit.
Oh, they're
Those
heavy.
things
They're
are
heavy.
so
yeah.
fucking heavy.
yeah,
solid.
And
Yeah.
every time I made
Real
the prep
solid.
work, I was like, all right, this is enough.
Yeah, he's like,
This
"Man,
is
I need
enough.
Well, that's what I told you last
No.
night. We're getting ready to do
More.
a big collab between the four of us. We're gonna be working on tonight, and I told him I was like, "Yeah, I need like 4 of those, maybe 5." I was like, "I need some work because we use a lot of glass in these things. We want them to be heavy, heavy, heavy."
Yeah, and now
Packaging.
now we have Rocco in.
Oh, was he in that shop?
Yeah, he came in and right before Melt, and he's been in there now. And yeah, I'm right now. I'm surrounded by like wicked awesome fucking sculptors,
Yeah. So is that
and
what
I
you're
still
gonna
haven't
change?
tried sculpting.
Why don't you try?
I should.
You got people
I've been
to teach
saying
you.
it for a year and a half now.
Say you're around all those people. You should.
Yeah.
Is
At
Hallie
least
Cat still in there
watch.
with you?
Yep.
She's right beside.
It's Hopper, Rocco, Casta, who's
Yeah, he's badass.
dude, he's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's a badass.
Every time he tries something new or like sculpts something new or whatever, like he says he doesn't like, you know, like do it justice on the first try, and like, dude, he fucking nails that shit. And then you have
he's a
Jim-
cool guy too. He's quiet. Every time I run into him, he's
Oh,
just like,
yeah.
oh, real kind of quiet. And then like,
Uh,
I always forget who he is. And I was like, that's that guy. I was like,
he's an animal.
yeah. Is
And
he?
then Jimmy Zink, and then Hallie, Merit Badge, which is Casta's homie. They've had studio space together for a long time. That's
know
who
his work. I
made
follow him on
this with
Instagram.
me. Yeah, they're just so creative.
So what's
and
your
they're
plan?
fearless.
You're talking about
I know,
you're talking about building a new shop at your
Justin
house now,
better.
though.
Yeah.
Drink up.
Well,
Yeah.
You gonna keep that shop?
I'm gonna keep
I'm
that
not gonna be
studio
able to
space
talk.
for sure. But I just want that home space because, like I said, like I'm outside of the city. Like these guys that live there, right next to the studio, like they haven't moved their car in like 3 months.
You got a ticket?
No, like they have their spot in front of their apartment or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But like haven't had to move their car because like everything's right there.
Yeah.
For me, I'm traveling an hour into the city every day,
Yeah.
and I've been doing this since 2013.
One way
What?
to the shop? An hour one way to the shop?
What
Depending on
traffic
time.
and, yeah, what time
Yeah.
of the day?
I'm familiar. with
Yeah,
traffic.
like,
I just
can't-
didn't know. I thought it was a little closer.
I mean,
It's not
on the
far.
way home. I can make it home in 16 minutes flat.
Okay.
But
I guess we were usually leaving there late.
yeah,
why
well,
I
that's
thought-
like 6 in the morning that I'm leaving. But if I'm going any time around like normal people time, then
Yeah, yeah.
it's traffic.
Yeah.
Just
Just
so
the
much-
other day,
and I'm just sick
coming
of
up.
it. Like
Yeah.
I'm just sick of taking all that time instead of just like maybe I can have a small setup to do prep work and everything like that in my garage, and then like walk out there, have 4 hours to myself, go back in, and then like have to go to work later that night. And
That'd be smart. Get to the point where you're making your prep at home and then taking it to that shop and trying to put bigger pieces together.
I mean,
with
what you
everybody.
guys do with
With everybody,
Outback
yeah.
here is just. I'm so jealous of all that.
Well, our shed in
It's
the
so
backyard.
awesome. It's great. When you want to work, you work, and then when you want to take a nap or just fucking
Roll.
yeah,
Go-
go
What
make
up?
eggs.
So go back to we're back in Philly here. We're talking about that. Explain to us what the John is.
The yawn. Or
Yawn.
The
Yeah, yawn.
The yawn.
Yeah.
The yawn.
It's any non-proper noun.
So use it and explain it.
It's a person, place, or thing. But you're like
It's like
if
it's
I'm
like
saying
means
Kev-
thing.
if I'm saying Kevin, like no, I can't use it as that. But like, you know, like the dude that has a crush on me, like yo, that John, fucking this guy, he like
that John over there.
loves me.
That's a weird choice because John, of course, is like a prostitute's customer,
Yeah.
and so
Yes.
that's weird.
But like, hand me that
Example,
John.
Now I
Like, yeah, you know.
So it's kind of like you
It's
guys.
a non-proper.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
non-proper.
well, you
noun.
guys kind of took this thing and you basically like modeled it after the Smurfs. So you're like Smurf this, Smurf that, everything Smurf. That's Smurfy. You know.
I never thought of it like that.
It's like Smurfs, man.
That's
So-
Johnny.
yeah, so you like the Philly Smurfs. So this
Yeah.
instead of this shirt,
Yeah,
you guys
yes,
should make your
yeah.
mascot the freaking.
I know it's
Papa
John
Smurf.
would have been a great name for a mascot for Philly. John.
John.
John. John. the
Philly
John.
Yeah, but he's got to have a
Philly,
name.
Philly John.
John. Yeah.
Well,
But
actually,
he's gotta
oh, yeah,
have-
but,
it's got to
but
be.
but
proper
hey,
noun.
what did you guys end up with? A fucking
Yeah.
crackhead, fucking puppet, like.
Oh, dude, he's the greatest.
Made out of
he's
human.
the greatest.
He's made out of human skin.
Yeah, it's just so crazy that you guys pick like a mascot that looks like literally somebody on crack. What's
I
up
mean,
with that?
I've seen lots of people on crack in Philly, and it's not that bad.
he's not that bad.
If you once you see him interacting with everyone, it's just like, all right, that's not a crack.
Well,
As far as I know,
lovable.
that's what you look like with a hockey helmet on anyway.
So that's pretty Smurfy. So
No, Gritty's great. I love him. Like the first day it was like, all right, it was fucking weird.
He's a weird mascot.
But I tried meeting him for 2 years, and it took me till this season where I finally got to meet him. And
How was that, John?
oh, it was sick. It was super sick.
we were talking when we were in Vegas. We all went out to
Proper
dinner,
use.
and we had our podcast earlier that day with Stellar, and we forgot to even bring it. I didn't know that until later that night that he was a mascot for a minor league
Yes.
baseball
Yes,
team.
I found
Holy
out
shit.
that.
You didn't know
Yeah.
this?
Is that
No,
what that
yeah.
toothless picture's from?
Oh no.
No.
You
We talked
you
about
went
it.
sick. You were sick.
Yeah, you. Yeah.
Oh, the night I left the restaurant.
Yeah.
I wasn't sick. That was
Oh
the night
yeah,
I was.
you didn't come. to
You were
dinner.
tired.
That was the night I was
So-
falling asleep at the bar.
So
yeah.
Stellar, apparently, there's photos of him, and there's.
Uh-huh.
Do you have the pictures of him?
Oh my god.
That's
Holy
Stellar.
That was
shit.
him.
Can you send that to?
Dude,
Yeah.
Oh,
he,
yeah.
he sat there at the dinner that night,
Uh-huh.
and he was like doing his dance, and he's like, "Yeah, this is how you do it." And he was just like doing all his dance. So he was actually a paid
I bet he was good. too.
mascot for a minor league
Oh,
baseball
hell yeah.
team.
Yeah.
What was that at? It was in Stockton, or
Yeah,
it was
I
like
mean,
one of them places where I forget the name of
out
the team.
west for sure.
Manteca.
So that's pretty hilarious.
Bubblehead.
Shout out to Stellar again. We
Yeah.
know we already did the podcast. I wish we would have known about that before the podcast.
Oh yeah, we would have totally.
Stockton Port.
The Stockton Port mascot. So yeah, he was definitely a crazy son of a bitch.
So actually, I've got something. I know we're trying to get to hear from Lucky too, but I saw something that I want to talk to you guys about. This was on the other day. It's almost like a Boro News article, but I think it was real. It was a post about that Shelbo's goblins were originally Smurfs. And it's like this guy's like hey, just so you know, Shelbo's goblins were originally Smurfs, but then they hit him up for that poster, and he changed them to goblins. And they even said that if you look at the first poster, you can tell where hats were removed and the ears were changed.
Whoa!
Have you ever heard anything? I mean, it was this weird. I wish I can't believe I didn't screenshot it or whatever, but it was this really random post. You've never heard
I didn't hear that.
I've never heard that
Thinking
either.
back, though, look at the
But now and then I started looking at those goblins closer, thing like, and I could see Shelbo making a Smurf back in the day, and then, but yeah, so nobody's heard that. Yeah, I wish I'd saved that post, but it felt like
He'd probably make a good Smurf.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I could see him making a killer Smurf.
Well, when you look at them, they just have that kind of cute type of face, and then they've evolved over the years, but they're not
universal.
Yeah, they're universal now. But yeah, so okay.
Grab a beer real quick. You guys keep talking.
Here, you wanna?
What do you? Oh, you want some?
Yeah.
Off top, yeah.
All right, about time.
Yeah.
The non-drinkers
Good,
drinking
good,
more than you
yeah,
tonight.
totally. The non-drinkers over here.
Yeah, look at that.
Fucking polishing through this.
Pause.
Oh wow.
Yeah. You're talking.
And just
So we're
while
drinking.
Kevin's in
So,
the room, we're just
hey.
gonna give a shout out to the
Dogfish.
Dogfish Head
Delaware.
alternate takes. This is a whiskey finished in Palo Santo Marron ale barrels, and it's delicious.
Yeah.
Good thing you said that.
I just tried to say it really fast.
And I have the honey rum at my house,
Mm-hmm.
and that's aged in whiskey barrels. So it's a sweet honey rum with a whiskey finish.
So it's
But
honey
you
rum, but does it still made with sugar cane?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so then they add the
But
honey
then,
too. Man, that's gotta be
yeah, and
sweet.
then they just
So
let
good.
it sit in the whiskey barrels.
whiskey barrels, yeah.
And that's
It's
when you
just
get
like
that
this,
smoky
you
flavor at
don't
the
need to
end.
mix it.
This actually has a very kind of a Scotch flavor
Thank you.
profile to me. Do you get a Scotch?
Did you put vodka in it?
Yeah.
Vodka?
I
need
feel like
some
there's a
more?
little
Okay.
peat. I feel like it's a little peaty though for some reason. I don't know.
So
I mean,
we explained John. Let's go into Lucky. We
Yeah,
haven't
let's
heard
hear
nothing
about-
from
yeah.
Lucky yet.
you could
Uh,
a little too.
Let's
Just a
juice them
little
up and
bit,
hear what
yeah.
you got.
so
to say.
Jason,
Juice.
Leonard.
Oh, hey.
does your parents? What do your parents call you?
Occasionally Jason, but most of the time Lucky now
Really?
too. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
Uncle
you're-
Lucky too. Yeah, my
Seriously?
sister has sister has 2 kids.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
a niece and a nephew.
Uncle Lucky?
Uncle Lucky. Yeah.
Do they try to rub your head?
No. Not yet. Maybe.
So
you know.
you're living in Delaware.
Delaware, yeah.
In
South
Ocean
Delaware.
City. No,
No.
Rehoboth. Rehoboth. That's what we
Rehoboth,
talked
yeah.
about. So
Close
yeah,
to Ocean City.
Rehoboth is the gay beach. Like I
Yeah.
said, when I was a kid, that's where we always went.
Gay capital
Yeah.
of the East Coast.
Is it the gay capital of the East Coast?
It used to be. I don't know if it is anymore.
Well,
but
we'd
I
always
mean,
went
it
there
is.
instead of Ocean City because Rehoboth's way cleaner. And that's just saying that gay people are cleaner. Was But no, it is a cleaner beach.
Yeah.
Ocean City was always like where the kids went to party, and that's where we went for high school. That was like our spring break. We'd all go down to Ocean City.
And I grew up in Jersey, so
but
like,
family wise,
night and
we
day
always went to
beach-wise.
Rehoboth Beach. It's a littler beach, you know. It's like
Yeah.
you said, the food's better, just
Oh,
cleaner.
the food, yeah.
You know, not as much harassment from
No.
just people.
Well, local
I
harassment.
mean, I was knocked out at Ocean City Beach when I was a kid. Yeah,
Ocean
so-
City.
What'd you do?
Ocean City.
I was trying to hook up with some chick on the beach, and we were I was hanging out
You're
with
at
her
the
all night
wrong
long.
beach. Sounds
No,
like.
no, no. Well, no. We were. This was Ocean City.
Rehoboth?
We was walking around. I was
Wasn't it sick?
16 years old. I was hanging out with her all night long, sitting on a freaking bench. It was like 2 a.m, and I was like thinking, yeah, this is awesome. It's gonna be the shit. Fucking, we're sitting there with a sheet on. These 3 humongous black dudes walk out from this bar from upstairs, and like they're just big dudes. I mean, they had to be like in their 30s, you know. And like they come walking up these steps from this like downstairs bar, and it was like right on like 16th Street or something like that.
Oh, so you were
And-
You're just
down.
under a sheet.
But no, we weren't fucking or anything. We were just hanging out. And I was thinking like we're gonna go back to our hotel room. It was like just trying to make my moves. And like these dudes walking, as soon as they come upstairs, up the steps, they're like starting yelling at everybody. Like they're just like talking shit. And people walking by like avoiding them. Like, oh, don't make eye contact. Oh shit, keep moving. They come walking towards like, oh shit, it's gonna get on. They come walking by me, and soon as they come right in front of me, they turn around and goes, "I'll give you $5 for your bitch." And I'm like, okay then. You know, I'm like, sitting there like, yeah. They kept walking. Sure enough, she fucking woman, can't keep your mouth shut. Just turns, she's like, I'm worth more than $5, motherfucker. He comes around, he's like, what'd you say? I was like, nothing.
Nothing. I didn't say nothing.
He's like, that's what I thought you said. And I remember it plain as day. Then he just turns around like he's going to fucking keep walking and just kept turning around and just boom, fucking lights out. I woke up in the
knocked
fucking,
you out.
well, I woke up in like their lobby of her hotel. And like dudes fucking like fanning me and shit. I'm like, what the fuck just happened?
Where am I?
I just got up, stumbled the fuck out of there and went home. It was terrible.
Well, I'm sorry if that happened.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Yeah. You didn't rub my head.
That's just
beforehand.
that's my one knockout story. I got knocked out. I was too small.
That's why you don't go to Ocean City. You stay in Rehoboth.
Yeah. Yeah, Rehoboth, you don't get that. You just get hit on.
I'm just saying Kevin keeps a real clean house. That's all I want to say. Go ahead.
It is really clean.
Very clean.
Is it? Yeah, I didn't really clean it. I just kind of.
They should come out for your birthday.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, guys, come down for the birthday party.
When's that?
August. End of the summer.
End
Right
of
before melt.
Right before melt.
Yeah.
Water slides.
Oh yeah, you got water slides
You had
in your backyard?
3-story
Yeah.
water slide last
It
year.
is sick.
Inflatable water slide.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
He's getting 2 this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah, 2. We're gonna have them butt up to each other.
Oh, you have them at your house?
Yeah. In
Oh,
the
so you rent these
backyard.
things?
I mean, I don't have a acreage like this.
But you have
but-
them. You said you have them butt together, so everybody goes down and hits each other.
Yeah.
That's kind
Well,
of.
I mean, you're not trying to hit each other.
And
but,
one's just Mick Ultra.
we rented. What did we do, Red? We rented the slip and slide here.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, that was pretty nuts.
Last
Yeah,
time
this
we
is
did
like
a
a
slip and
vertical
slide.
slip and slide.
Yeah.
Broke arms.
Yeah, it got pretty dangerous.
Was it
Though
a week before melt?
I know the one
2
time
weeks.
you
2
guys
weeks,
at your
2 weeks
restaurant
before
rented
melt.
that one. Remember, I freaking hyperextended.
So
my
all the
foot?
West Coast
Oh,
guys,
dude.
John.
I tried to
Joe,
ride a dude's
Stellar,
back
come
down
over
there.
early.
Yeah.
We were trying to do that like ambiguously gay duo thing, so I was kind of he jumped on it. I tried to just jumped on his back and tried to ride him down, and it just hyperextended my freaking leg. I rode my motorcycle over there. I couldn't even ride my motorcycle home. He had to like drive me home and then take me back the next day to try to drive my motorcycle home. It was fucking painful.
None of us
You
got
still
hurt.
have a motorcycle?
Yeah, it's out in the barn. I haven't ridden
Mine
it in
got
like 2 years.
stolen.
Oh, from Rehoboth? You
chaps.
said that was all for cool
Yeah,
down
on
there.
my birthday.
What? You got your
Yes.
bike stolen in your
On
birthday?
my birthday. From my backyard.
He still walks around with those chaps all the time.
Yeah.
He
That's
hasn't,
the chap.
hasn't
just
got
wear-
on that bike once.
Bring back the chaps.
I bought the motorcycle for the chaps, dude. That's all I wanted. Figured,
I
you
could
know.
wear these, yes.
So, what's it like down there? Is it you have like you do pretty well selling glass at the
I
beach?
mean, it's very.
He's a rock star down there.
Yeah,
Oh, I
I mean,
bet.
you've
well, it's
been
probably
down,
very
but-
specialized. Like you do a ton of shells and
Yeah,
stuff like
shells
that. So,
and beach theme stuff, and it's. I mean, it's very seasonal. So this time of the year, I mean.
can you sell me and Josh's underwater shit?
Oh yeah.
So we do a lot of that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I mean, there's not many head shops either, so a lot of the good ones close.
Was it so? Is the
'Cause-
boardwalk? Does it have a lot of like Indian head shops, like the cheap?
And that's the last 3-4 years. That's what's happened.
Because I noticed, like even in like Atlantic City and places like that, you go out to the boardwalks and it's just like there's tons of glass. And
Yeah.
every other booth has
Is
shit
New
tons of
Jersey
glass.
recreational now too?
It's always been like that.
Jersey, I don't think it's
no, I
recreational.
think it's still
it's
medical.
It's just medical.
But they still sell so much
But it's
production
gonna be
import.
Delaware's
happening
decrim
soon.
Yeah.
metal.
Because-
but-
Remember he was telling
Oh,
when you
yeah.
got the tip.
I had.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, tell the story. Tell the story. It's so good.
What's my Christmas story?
Yeah, when you went
Oh yeah, so I went
home
home
for
for Christmas this past year. What, last month, 2 months ago, and got arrested.
Oh fuck! What is up with our crew lately? Just getting
But
Right
the
before
cop,
he's
no,
coming
the
to my
cop was
house.
cool. Like
Yeah.
the car smelled like weed. The fucking weed's wafting out as I get pulled over. I'm like, oh shit. You know, I'm from Jersey originally.
Yeah.
That's why I left because I got
Yeah.
too many arrests. And I'm like, shit, I'm going down. Cop comes up. He's like, wow. He goes, my shit smells better than yours. That's what I was like. Whoa,
Whoa, yeah.
this is a cool cop, right? Yeah, 20 years ago, I got a ticket for the air freshener on the rear view mirror.
Oh yeah, just because it was blocking your
Blocking,
view.
yeah. And it was, I guess, the year I moved to Delaware, and moved a couple times the first year. Never got the ticket, or remembered. Yeah, warrant for my arrest for never paying the ticket.
for a fucking air freshener.
Yeah, for air
20
freshener.
years
For
ago.
20 years.
20 years ago.
I thought that
yeah.
was all usually expunged after like
I
9,
thought, yeah,
10
10
years.
It's like a
years,
statute
yeah.
of limitations.
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
That's crazy. That still showed up.
Yeah, tell me
Because
about it.
usually 9, 10 years. I mean, I have friends that ran away to freaking
My dad on the way
Alaska.
home from work that night. My dad on the way home drove by, because I went back. My aunt was.
So did they take you in?
Smokes on
Yeah, oh,
the
yeah,
CB.
I
Oh, they
spent-
arrested you.
Yeah, 7 hours in
Wow.
Woodbridge Police
for
Department.
a fucking
Yeah.
Pine air freshener.
Pine Effort, yep.
20 years
Probably
ago.
vanilla Roma.
That's
yeah.
insane.
How much was that ticket at the end of the day?
The ticket was $95 when I got it in
What is it
2000, 90 or 99. It was only $50 now.
what?
Yeah, so it went down.
Deflation.
So you saved money.
Yeah, so I saved money. Yeah.
You just had to spend 7 hours
Yeah.
in jail.
And I had the flu. I caught the flu on the way home for Christmas, so I got every cop in the police department sick that
Nice.
week. So yeah.
Redemption.
Do you
Yeah.
know you did?
Not
No,
for a
okay.
fact, but I mean.
He's hoping.
It's just all.
Yeah,
I
I was,
coughed
cla- I
in
was
all their
coughing
coffee.
on everything, you know.
Yeah.
Just wiping his nose on the bars.
They never put me in bars though. They just
finger
had me
in
the
finger
whole-
in the keyhole.
That was a fun weekend.
That's prison talk.
Yeah.
Rat hole to rat hole.
Rat hole, yeah. Why isn't that on right now?
What?
Because we're doing this.
Okay, yeah, I wouldn't be talking.
What are you asking?
Future Man. He's
Oh,
like, why
Future
isn't that on
Yeah,
right
I was
now?
like,
Oh,
I
we
don't
we
know.
introduced these guys to Future Man last night.
Yeah, again,
Good,
big shot. We talked about Future Man like in the first couple episodes of this podcast, and it stood the test of time.
Cheers to Future
It's
Man.
a great show, you guys.
Yeah.
We haven't done a big TV. We haven't really dived into TV a whole lot the past few weeks, but
We've been so busy talking about other
yeah,
stuff. But
I mean, we'll catch you up on all the TV.
that's probably
shit
like the 8th
coming
time
up.
I've watched that show through now.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that
Oh, that's-
great
it's
series on Hulu.
So
It's a
many
Hulu
references.
original. 3rd season's dropping in March, I think, or it's definitely coming up.
It'll be the last season.
Definitely
last
watch
episode.
it if you just want good, old-fashioned kind of comedy.
So,
no holds barred.
Do you have a shop there? Do you have your own shop, or like what do you do? How do you work there?
I mean, I work.
Yeah,
you-
your studio. I think
Yeah,
you
I have
when
a
you
studio
say
at your
yeah,
house.
so your studio space.
Yeah, I bought a house 10 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, put a little shop in like you did, not as big, and
Just cranking away.
crank it away.
Where do you
yeah.
sell? Do you sell a lot of your glass down there?
Well, we had 3 or 4 head shops for up until like 2-3 years ago. So yeah, they all pumped it out for me right locally.
Yeah.
One had a fire this past year, so they didn't reopen. Another one moved locations because they thought it was going to be a better idea.
Do you
Didn't work
live?
out so good.
Do you live close to the beach, or how far away from the beach are you?
I'm about 10 miles.
10 miles.
Yeah.
It's like 40 minutes.
So it's like before.
No,
half hour?
Like 15.
So that's
Oh,
like
no.
past.
20.
It's like
When
past the bridge and all that stuff, right? Like when you go across.
I
those
mean, if you're
bridges to go-
familiar with the area, where Cape May Ferry drops off
Yeah.
into Delaware, I'm 5 miles from that.
How far are you from Ocean City then?
About 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
We're gonna have some awesome
This time of
Google
the
Map
year, half
graphics
hour.
to go along with this.
Yeah.
This is
There's a
Lucky's
lot
house
of
here.
things
Fucking A.
here,
Just pull up the
there.
Google Earth, Red.
You
We
got, you
wanna
got a
see-
girlfriend these
we
days?
wanna
Every time I see you, you
Lucky's
got a different
house.
girlfriend.
No, not
Like the last like 5 times I hung out with you in Philly, you always have like a different woman.
No.
Your face was in my wife's tits when we got home from Vegas.
Well, you weren't giving her no attention.
I was so tired. We're watching.
So it's like
She
that.
jumped
Pipe
on
Town,
me, and I was like, hey.
Mhm.
and like, you know, we just fucking flew home, eat my Steve steaks and everything.
but it's
She's
a
like jumping
DVD,
on
you
me, and
can
I'm
hit
just like,
pause,
oh, like,
you could replay
just
it
like,
later.
you know, whatever. And she's like, fine, and then she's like,
Yeah, she's like,
get in here. I was like,
Well,
hey.
he's like, okay.
Pinch it. Yep, there you go.
I mean, lucky for a reason, right? Hey,
What
I was turned on.
So when's your season come back up? You're gonna start. You're still working now.
yeah, I mean,
Like,
April starts getting busier
Yeah.
because I mean the holidays, obviously.
so wintertime. Do you
420.
still work full time in the winter?
Not at the bar.
No.
I mean, well, I only work 2 days a week,
Oh shit.
kind of year round.
Kind of like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, he works I think more than I do.
No, I do 2 days a week.
Oh.
Wednesday, Friday.
Okay, yeah, I'm Thursday, Sunday.
What is it with
So,
you guys? Like Darren's the same way. He's like 3 days a week.
Because
I mean,
they
he
it's-
calls that a real job.
It's
Because
enough
that
to
pays
pay
The
my
funny thing
bills.
is-
yeah, it
the
pays my
thing is-
mortgage.
here-
and
here-
it pays
here's-
the
here's how
bills.
we
Talking to the only 2
Hey.
guys that work less than these guys.
Here's where we can
did
talk
we
shit.
work
there.
last night, or did we
Yeah, I
have
worked.
so much fun?
We could talk shit. to
I don't know.
Darren.
You went to bed. I don't remember. Did you work?
Yeah.
Darren works.
I told you I tried to take a
I
shit.
did
He
not
was
work
fucking in
last
here
night.
working.
I watched.
Overtime.
Hey, I made a freaking piece last night. Thank you.
I made 3.
These guys made.
You started it the night before.
Mine was bigger.
I watched Future Man all night.
So, you guys gonna come to Salem this year?
IFC.
It has a great comedy
I
show.
will be in Puerto Rico.
You're being Where are you going to Puerto Rico?
I go to Puerto Rico every year for a month
Really?
in March.
It must be good to be a bartender then.
See.
Yeah, well, I blow
Yeah.
I blow glass down there too.
Nice.
Like I
2
got a
days.
little
Who-
local following. In,
Who do you know down there?
Rincon.
Do you go down?
At my bar, we have 2 or 3 employees that come every year.
Yeah.
So they, serve and whatnot.
Oh, they only
So-
come up for the summer
for
to
the
work.
summer. Yeah, it's too hot down there, so they
Yeah.
actually come here to
Well, I
cool
noticed that a
off,
lot.
which is weird.
I always notice that a lot in the beach places. You'll get people from like other countries, like
Yeah.
even like
I
England and
guess it's real
Scotland. Like you'll get
humid.
Caribe
foreigners
funk.
coming in.
Hmm?
Do you know the band Caribe Funk?
No.
Oh yeah, they like come up and then do their tour, and then
Then
like
they
go
go
back
back.
down and like feed their town because they're rock stars, and I think it's like 4 of them, and then they come back up, make the money, go back down to their town, and
So that's what you do. You go down and stay with those guys, and
Well, I go down. Well, me and one of my other friends go down. We just rent a place out for the month and
beautiful.
chill. But the first year down, we went to Rincon, visit one of their. They have an art market every Wednesday, so we went to just hey, let's check out the local art. And there was a glass blower down there,
so you started hanging out.
he saw my tattoo. I was walking by the Carlisle tattoo, and he was like, "Hey, you want to jump on here while I get a beer?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" He came back. I had a crowd of people around the table already. He's like, "I'll be back in 3 hours when we're done. You have a good night." And I came back. I had money in my pocket.
So what's the situation with? I mean, do they do any kind of weird thing with fighting you with like making money there?
No, I haven't had any problems.
So I know like Mexico.
Mexico's
if you move to
real
Mexico,
weird,
they do
yeah.
not want us coming down there and
Yeah.
making any money. They
Yeah.
just don't want it. They fight you tooth
I mean,
and
I have
fucking nail.
my case open on the beach when I go to the beach.
Yeah,
Just
and they never
open.
give you any shit.
No.
Then,
Locals come up, love
PJ
it,
Taylor
yeah.
lives in Puerto Vallarta,
Yeah.
and I said when we went down there to visit, I was just like, "Fuck, I want to move down here." And they was like, "He's like, dude, forget trying to sell glass down here.
Yeah,
It's American.
it's different. Yeah.
He's just like, they're just not gonna let you do it. They're not gonna let you make money. He sends all his glass back to the United States to his like family,
Up here,
and like
right,
they
yeah.
sell it for him. But he's like, yeah.
Didn't he
just-
move up here too recently?
PJ? No, he still has his house.
Still
He
down
lives
there?
right. He bought a house in Puerto Vallarta. He lives like outside of there for a while. But like, I just know that he just said it's almost impossible to try to make a living.
make money
I said
down
about
there.
just moving down there and making those beer bottle dragons and just sitting on the
Right.
beach to to tourists. Like, oh, dude, I could sell these things all day long for $20 a pop, and they wouldn't even think anything of it. It's like all you have to do is sell 5 a day, and you could live like a king.
Oh, yeah.
If you made
So,
$100 a day in Mexico, you could live like a king.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I love going there.
When
Puerto
I go
Rico.
there, I go
So
to
do you
the
bank
grocery
money when you're
store.
down there?
I mean,
you
I
just
pay.
sp- you
I
just
pay
spend
for
it?
the month,
So you
basically.
just
and
spend
I give
it
it back.
and have a good time?
to them.
Yeah.
They need it down there.
Sure.
Especially this
Bartending's
year.
rough, man. You need a month off. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we
Especially
give
being
Darren
after
shit.
tourists.
You guys
Oh,
just
man.
proved the fact. Darren works like 3 days a week, and he calls that a full-time job.
Yeah, like up here, you guys don't have the tourist season.
We
Like,
work.
at the beach, it's
me and
rough
you
for
work.
Yeah, we
4
work all the
months.
time.
We
work
might.
hard.
People might say we don't do shit,
They're
but
in
we're in the shop
Farmville.
Yeah.
every day.
We
Yeah.
got cows out
12
here.
hours a day. We're out there. We might not be blowing glass the entire time, but we're thinking about it.
they're living
Right,
off
yeah.
that
No,
milk
I'm thinking
money.
about it all the time too, but it's. I mean, to make $1,000 in 2 days, just serving somebody drinks, is nice sometimes. But yeah, to put up what you got to put up with sometimes, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not even worth it. I'd rather.
Yeah,
sit
like
in
I'm
my shop and be
asking
thinking
for
about
your
it and-
wife to give us Narcan for my bar because you're
Yeah.
dealing with people like this.
Like
That's crazy.
junkies and
Sucks.
not to throw junkies' name out there, but yeah, you're dealing with junkies.
Yeah, it sucks that you have to deal with that kind of stuff. We don't have to deal with that
And
with the one what we
I mean,
do.
alcoholics too. But
If we go to festivals, you got to deal with like
If it's somebody's
junkies
passed
and
out in our
crackheads.
shop on the floor, it's us or Don Chili.
Yeah. But we don't really. I mean, we go to a lot of festivals and try to hustle glass, and that's where you see all the freaking crackheads. Luckily, I'm not doing like raves. Like back in the day, we used to do a lot of raves, and that used to be the.
that's
I mean,
what I started.
Oh, that's how I started.
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
that was the. Yeah, remember? Yeah.
Party monster.
we used
I
to
used
do
to
all
work
the
in
East Coast.
one of the biggest nightclubs in New York City.
We would do all like remember they did the soapbox raves back in the like
Yeah.
late '90s. I used to do all those. I had a boy that was.
I used to
hooked up.
work with
They were terrible.
Peter Gation and Michael
Terrible.
Alley.
Yeah, that sucks.
Party
Raves
Monster.
were the
You ever
worst.
see that movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like
worked.
raves.
I worked.
I don't.
for
The music sucked.
Michael
The
Alley.
fucking everything about it sucked. The kids were all freaking on whatever the fuck they were
Oh,
on.
yeah,
Everybody's
some-
chewing their faces off and sucking on
Yeah,
pacifiers and
yeah.
eating lop popsicles. I used to go there and hustle freeze pops. I'd buy dry ice and we'd pack it full of freeze
Probably one of
pops.
the
Death
ones I was
nuts
getting
and
my
fucking
sugar.
freeze
Yeah.
pops.
Dude, we go in there. I have a big sign that says 3 for $1. What the fuck? And we would sell freeze pops all fucking night long. We'd go with big coolers full and be gone like no time. Terrible,
We
terrible
probably
place.
crossed paths back in the
Shit
day.
got
man.
stolen.
Shit.
That was the only time I ever really got shit. A lot of shit stolen was raves all the time. No matter what we did, I'd have shit behind. I had these big plexiglass walls that I built. Have all the glass behind. Still get behind there and steal that shit somehow. I don't know how it happened.
Seattle Hemp Fest. Same thing.
Dirty, rotten, filthy
Friends,
people.
Were at
Yeah, we were
Camp
back
Disco
then.
years ago.
I wasn't.
On the
I mean,
glass
I
case.
wasn't, but
Shut
I was in that
Mhm. I was
crowd.
I was just trying to sell
so-
some glass and have a good
Gone.
time.
I was just trying to get fucked up back then.
I'm trying
Yeah.
getting that money from that.
We'd
game.
always do that at the end of the night, It's just like after we would sell glass all night, it would be like 5 in the morning. It's like, okay, give me a little bit of that shit.
Oh no, all night long.
After I had
Party.
everything put away and I knew everything was safe and sound. But then we do the ones like some of those like Era and remember those big soap, like they called them the soapbox raves. They called them like they Tide and Era. They had all the different ones named after all the things. They were like 3-4 day raves, like festivals.
God,
We'd go to those and Jesus Christ, damn that fucking sucked.
Yeah. To be young again. Oh.
Yeah, I definitely not do that now. I have a hard time going to a festival with like 2,000 people that I'm like
3 days at Vegas knocks me out.
Yeah.
For
I got so sick
obviously a
we got back
day.
from Vegas. Did you guys get sick at all?
I did good this year.
Yeah,
I didn't use the elbow technique like you do at all the.
I tried to do.
Dude, every year, man. This was
I
the
slept,
least
for
sick I've got when I
30
got back.
hours.
I mean, I got home and I had to fly home and do a festival.
You had that show when
yeah,
you got
right
back,
away.
right? Yeah.
And I started feeling a little janky, like Friday afternoon,
You were
Saturday.
throwing up that whole day last year.
Well, last year,
Yeah.
I was.
I saw a lot of people posting they got the Wook flu. They definitely picked up the Vegas bug. I tried to. I had that
This year I
fucking
was sick
stuff.
though.
I
when
was
got
rubbing it on my
arrested.
hands. I was wiping it on my
So-
face, and it still didn't work.
Squirting on the floor.
Yeah, I did swear. Every time I'd go to hit my hand with it, just miss my hand, and just big globs of it all over the place. No, I definitely got sick. I felt better this year than I did in years past. So we got Salem coming up. You guys are gonna come? You said you're gonna be in.
Yeah, I'll
are you
be.
gonna
Well,
come
I
down?
might. I'll be back.
March 21st, 2nd.
I get back the 16th or no, the 18th.
Oh, and you can come
So
up for
I'll
that.
probably be there.
It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be different. They're gonna be back at the school this year.
So it's like.
So if everybody
it's all
knows,
the,
IFC's the
I've never
International
been.
Flame
It's-
Working
it's
Conference.
the Philly Johns coming.
never
up.
been?
At the actual, not the satellite spot, right? It's gonna
This
be
is
at
actually
We're
at
back
the
at the
original
school,
school. So
yeah.
they shut the other place down now. It's
What's
gone.
That's crazy.
Paul Stanker Building or whatever that was.
Whatever that went out in the.
That was the
near
old
the landfill.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, that
done.
one's
So
gone.
they're done with that. They moved
Oh,
everything
wow.
back to the college, and they built a brand new state-of-the-art glassblowing facility
wow.
there. And hopefully they
would
do
love
it like
to
they
see
did.
that.
I'm hoping they'll set it up maybe in the or the gymnasium like they used to. That used to be real fun because this will be like the 21st years. I don't know,
That's
20,
it. The
21
first
years.
year I was there was the year with all the
Italians,
yeah.
like was second, third year, like was Cesare there?
No, it was I guess the 10th year where they all
Oh,
came
that was
back.
when they all came back.
Came
Oh,
back,
hell
yeah.
yeah.
But they were all Cesare and all of them. That was
The first year Cesare was there was like year 3. So this, if anybody doesn't know, this event's fairly cheap for a glass blowing event. It's $200,
Is it?
$200.
I thought it was.
you got to
I
get
thought it
in
was
before
expensive.
the
I think it's
21st.
expensive.
Well, it's 180.
I don't. I mean,
it goes up.
it
in
goes
price.
up
You guys
to
always
200.
hooked it up, but
No, it goes up to
I thought-
$200 for the event. It's all weekend. It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and they have some really good glass blowers.
I
There'll be
guess
lots
some
of
meals are
demonstrations.
provided.
Every day meals provided. So
Three
you
meals a
get
day?
breakfast and lunch every day.
Okay.
And they actually been really
And I
a
got
lot
it.
better with
I
the
only
food.
went to the one last year. I felt like it seemed like a little bit for
Gotta
what
work.
the cost was. I didn't feel you got the return on it. But even though like most places don't have any type of meal served, so
I mean, they
I
give you
need to. I'll
better food.
reevaluate it this
Their
year.
meal there sucks at IFC.
Yeah,
They've
that's what I-
changed it though over the last few years. They started catering it now, and they
Yeah,
actually
they
just
did
started doing
actually. I felt like
burgers.
Yeah, but even
Meatball
3 years ago, it
sandwiches.
still was
Yeah.
a little.
Well, granted, okay. Here's our
Maybe I'm
situation.
spoiled with milk.
We go there because the
and the good
school
food
does a
at
lot.
Melts.
There's a lot of glass blowers that come through that school, and a lot of big
Oh,
glass
yeah.
blowers have come through that school. We pick up the majority of all of our interns from Melt
there.
at that event. So this year we decided we're not going to get a booth like we have in years past. They charged us like I think $1,200 for a booth, but you got 4 tickets. So that kind of made fair because it was like it'd be $800 for 4 tickets to go, and we always took all of us come
Yeah.
down. Now this year they changed it; it's still $1,200, but you only get 2 tickets.
Oh.
So me and Todd said about it. I was like, well, fuck, we'll just get our hotel room and buy our tickets, and we'll save
Go
money from
promote
because
them.
all we do is set out some T-shirts. We don't really sell. All we're doing is trying to sell tickets and hand out flyers. We don't really care if we sell the tickets on the spot. I actually like to just talk to people and get my interns.
Promote it all. Get it
Which
all
I've already
out,
talked to Patty and some of our interns from past, like Joe will be there, and I was like, start rounding up people you think are going to be good this year. We don't like to have the same people back to back because most of them are staff.
unless they're good.
Well, most of them are staff, so
Yeah.
most of the interns, I think we brought most of the interns from last year's Melt back this year. So this will probably be the first year, just if anybody's listening, you're going to have to really impress us.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we
this
can't.
year there's no way that
Bring your A game.
the entire intern staff is getting turned.
We
the
might-
entire intern crew is not being leveled up to staff. I mean, I've said it once, I'll say it again. you surprised us when you did it for this crew this year. So you did it on the last day of the thing. Usually we all talk about it, and we're sitting there. And you're
Well,
just
it's
like,
always good.
you're all coming back as staff next year, and I was like, oh,
Well, we can.
oh wow.
Well, that's about the capacity of where
First
we're
I've
at.
heard of it.
That's about the
But I
capacity
don't
of where
know.
we're at. You know,
Yeah.
it's like
So.
from this point on, we might even start weeding out some of our, you know,
Old staff.
So old staff. The people like there's people that
Well, I
don't
liked your idea.
come back, and people that do come back, and then people might skip a year and think they can just come back. So we might just have to start.
Yeah,
Really.
yeah, you're crewing up this year, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I
we're
like
gonna
that.
we're gonna make sure people are on staff. We're gonna be This is a year where you make or break your position on staff too. We're just gonna make sure because things are just as we grow. It's something that also needs to be upgraded is how we do our staff and stuff like that. And people kind of slipped through the cracks last year, and it's hard to evaluate everybody. And you can't just go on if another staff member comes to us and says you're not working. We need a better way to evaluate it just than that one person.
And just knowing like what you need to do without
Yeah.
being told.
Totally,
All day
yeah.
long.
We know
Yeah.
whether it's your job or not your job, but something needs to be done, and
Yeah.
you just take that.
Well, we need to
initiative
take
for
away the
Totally,
floaters. Like nobody, everybody that's
Or
there.
or our floaters are actually the top level people that know exactly what to do.
Well, we also use the interns. We like them to get a taste of all the different things.
Yeah.
But the staff people there now, they need to
But-
start getting into a certain clique.
But staff, I mean, this is
floating
really
the
weird
whole time I'm
conversation. But
there.
the staff people can't just.
Hi.
They need to know that like dishes still need to be washed. It's
Oh,
not
sure.
just interns that have to wash dishes. Like it's not like I was an intern once, I never have to wash dishes again. It's like everybody needs to.
Dude, I'd rather wash dishes than do what I have to do.
I bet. Yeah.
You were in the kitchen the first year.
Yeah, and then
Remember?
you guys found out I did electrical work.
Yeah, and then Paul
Yeah.
stole you. That wasn't.
Yep.
Yeah, that was on Paul.
Yeah, we were.
Blame
we
him.
were-
You can be hate on Paul. Paul, got lucky,
Goddamn
hate
Paul.
We were together all that first year.
Got your number this year.
you. What So I mean, I think our staff last year we're close to like 45 to 50 people.
Is that many?
Yeah. So this year we're gonna bring the interns in, and who knows if all the staff people will come back. But you know, we normally have like one staff person for every 4 people. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
there. What you have any announcements about? I mean, I know tickets are on sale for Melt right now. So if anybody knows or listening, tickets are definitely on sale. They're selling better than they have in the last 4
But yeah,
years
you guys
combined.
sold a bunch
Apparently,
this year at,
Yeah,
Vegas,
we're already we're over. I'd say we're at probably 40% capacity for
torches.
and we also know that in the past most sales have come at the end. I think we'll have torches sold out well before the actual day.
Hell yeah.
And then
And when we were in Vegas, you picked
and
up.
we're maxed. We're so. And if anything, we're overextended on artists.
Give us a
and
little
so-
tidbit, a couple of new people you added.
Well,
there's a flyer. It's out. Everybody's seen the flyer.
Yeah, the flyers.
Yeah, the flyer's out, and we're super
Fire.
excited to announce Chaw Glass.
Fire,
I mean,
yeah.
his work is
And then you had that post,
so incredible. And then bringing in Aquarius Talk from Japan, his work's incredible. And
Oh
they
my
happen to
God.
be
That
friends.
shit is so. I was
Uh,
looking at the other day
yeah.
the Sherlock with the like alien
The-
skull, like from Alien. What was it? Alien 4. It was like mama.
Yeah,
Mama.
totally.
But like that's like on the front of it with one eye.
With
dude,
the
that
one,
shit is
yeah.
fu-
Oh,
and-
yeah. He's
yeah,
awesome.
dude. I love that shit.
That work, yeah. With those two guys,
And the
are
shit that he
awesome.
did with Zach Pukowitz.
Oh yeah, all those Zach.
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
yeah.
What
So, we-
you picked up a few new people that weren't on the list.
Well, we have a few people that we did like I'm talking about having Piper Dan might be coming back, which I'm really excited about. A guy that goes by Gasp. I don't know if you know Gasp's work. His fume work is incredible.
So-
love his work and such a great guy. I'm pretty sure he's gonna come and he's like a sleeper one. Like once.
So get this shit. So when I was 15, you know, I'm going into head shops with like, you know, my friends' older brothers
Right.
and like, you know, being like, you know, get that one right
There
there.
you go.
And I was collecting Brian's work.
Oh really?
So
Wow.
then you fast forward, you know, like 15 years, or no, it was like, I don't know, fast forward 10 years or whatever. And then I finally get to meet him in the alley. And, you know, you've been collecting
Yeah.
this guy's work since you were 14.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then you actually have to, you know, you get to geek out in an alley about fume for 2 hours. And then you're just like, all right, like, we need to move on from here. But he's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, dude, fuck yeah, dude. He's awesome.
you
Yep.
talked to
Awesome guy.
I'm super.
Pogo.
Pogo's gonna come.
You know Pogo?
Oh shit.
No, I've
He's
Pogo,
a
yeah.
crazy dude. He wears those
Like the Marilyn Manson eyes.
eyeballs.
And the,
Yeah.
like
He makes the
chicks
guns.
and the
Yeah,
shotguns.
Yeah, he
Yes,
makes all
yeah.
the shotguns. And
Oh,
stuff.
hell yeah.
And he's in the shop with the guys that
He's
just,
with
like,
Ben Burton
Ben
and
Burton.
and John Williams,
John
the
Williams.
guy that does the crazy fillas that everybody's like, he's like on fire in the industry right now.
And we didn't know that until like Pogo came up. He's
Yeah,
like, I really want to come to Melton. I was like, well, talk to this guy. And he fucking, and then turns out they're all in the same shop together and they're all coming anyhow. So it was just like, wow, that's cool.
Cowboy got a hold of me last night, so it looks like Cowboy will be coming back, so that'll be exciting.
Lock up them carts.
Yeah, I know. You're paying for your own cart this time.
Lock up our trikes.
You want a cart?
Yeah,
you're paying
lock
for it.
up our trikes.
Yeah,
We might not be bringing those
fuck
strikes
it,
this
they don't
year.
bring
No
the strike.
trikes. They got new ones.
And then
They're colored now.
who else? I guess. Like for me, Gas was like the one.
You had
that
a
I was
woman
super
dude,
excited.
sign up out there,
Yeah,
didn't you?
I wanted to. I really.
Trapper's coming this year. right?
Trapper's
Trapper is
coming.
coming.
She's just
Chelsea.
and we met her out at Las Vegas.
Yeah,
she
she
was
was awesome.
awesome. Her
Hers was
work's
my
awesome.
favorite piece in that the
I actually
the
bought
World
a rig
Series.
of hers out at
Everybody had all these crazy pieces. She had like I
Yeah,
said,
her-
all the fish. It was a bunch of
Yeah.
fish on a stringer.
I
Did you
got
see that one?
I got a
No, yeah, it was
sockeye
like,
salmon.
like
model.
a hook
did?
for fishing that they.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was just
Yeah, her
awesome. I mean,
piece
she
was
always
great.
does cool shit with the fish, but I mean, this to see it on like
It's
an old
just-
thing on
yeah.
a
True
blonde
to
with-
form and brand. Yeah.
I just thought hers was cool. Out of all the people, I mean, everybody else you see pieces they do, and it's just like another gun, another this, another that. But I just thought hers was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
the-
she's.
the
I still haven't
Geo's
met her. I
were
didn't get a chance to
cool.
talk to her.
Yeah, I didn't talk to too much, but she's super nice and super cute little boy, Oliver.
Yeah.
Shout out to Oliver.
just hanging out behind the
he was
table.
Awesome. Yep. I feel like there's somebody else that was added too. I can't. Oh, maybe Kurt B.
Oh wow, yeah, that was one of the ones that we were trying to get
So
somebody local, like Stoked area.
yeah, totally. The Stoked had mentioned him a couple of times. He says he was interested. So yeah, but at the same time, we're definitely at 30 artists right now. So I'm not gonna
That's
be adding
huge.
more. I'm gonna the people that are kind of like hanging question marks. I'm gonna give them all like a. Hey, let me know
Last
in the
call.
next. I gotta know because we're already overextended. I don't.
Well, that's the
I'd
problem.
rather
Like
just
when
cut-
people say we say 30 artists, I mean that's just 30 artists on our artist list.
Yeah.
There's another 40 artists that are just coming
that are
to be a
just
part
there,
of it.
yeah.
So-
So yeah, that's a definitely you're 100% right there.
All right, well, let's do a quick shout out to our mailbag. We haven't got any questions. Have we got any questions?
I don't know. Have we
even
got any
checked.
questions, Red, recently?
Questions?
So
No,
yeah,
Red is God. My
Hey.
God, the disappointment in Red's face right now.
Does
Yeah.
Red, does
if-
Red need
if-
more dogfish?
Yeah, he needs a little dogfish. Are you
So
sure, Red?
give us the paper so I can see it because we didn't have this in Vegas. I know we got it wrong. We got mailbag. Send us the
mail
questions
sack
if you
at-
got anything good.
Are you gonna get
Mailbag
this
at
right this time? Are
breakingglass.show.
you gonna get this right this
No,
time?
I'm not.
I get it.
I'm gonna-
Check us out on the website, breakingglass.show, Instagram, breaking
Slow down,
underscore
slow down.
glass underscore podcast, and Facebook, Breaking Glass Show. So, yeah, send those questions in. And
Yeah, let's get some questions going. And I'm gonna make a little bit
Call
more
in.
of a push to get
We're here
questions
live. Call
on
in.
social media. That way, people can just kind of spontaneously ask.
Lucky's drunk.
As we have guests coming up, I'll let you guys know our upcoming guests and
This is
give you a
actually-
chance to
Yeah.
send questions to us.
Rat hole to rat hole.
Lucky
Rat hole to
Josh is
rat
doing
hole.
good on this bottle.
Did you?
What?
It's the most I've ever seen Lucky drink,
Yeah,
actually.
man. Yeah, look at that. Ooh.
You should have seen him 2 years
Yeah,
ago.
this was new when we
Vegas.
started this, and that was like an hour ago. So,
And Lucky don't drink.
and we have to work.
yeah, you guys got
And
work.
we're gonna put
You have
a-
shelves to
whoa.
make.
I've already made all my shit.
It's
Got
gonna
a
be
pile of
interesting.
fish out there and jellyfish.
Well,
Just got to wrap and
um,
rake.
I think
Hey.
I think we covered everything. We're over an
Hey.
hour, so let's wrap it up and get to work. Actually, we're making ribs. We smoked some ribs today.
Ribs.
Some mac and
I'm
cheese I
ready to
made.
eat some of those ribs.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw the mac and cheese in the oven, and we're gonna barbecue these ribs.
That look good too.
I got a salad ready.
Yeah, and Josh made a salad. He tossed some salad.
I tossed
sorry,
the
sorry,
salad.
Freddie.
Sorry, yeah, Freddie's out of a job.
Josh is taking your job.
I'm fucking you with your own dick.
All right, well, hey guys, thanks so much for stopping down. Thanks for being.
Thanks for having us,
Awesome.
guys.
It was a
Yeah,
good time.
thanks, guys.
Long
Wonderful.
overdue, and thank
Yeah.
you.
And we'll see you
So
guys
many
next
more.
week or next time or whenever the next time we see you.
See when I'm looking
Cheers.
at
Just
you.
imagine the dick pics you could send. You just stuck it in.
Later.